Hi, and welcome back to the Positive Prepper. So there's a big thing going on right now globally that I want you to be aware of, that I want you to be able to prepare for. So India and China are facing major coal shortages. India has 135 coal burning plants, which supplies about 2/3 of its electricity, and they are running very short. China has rolling blackouts, and that's going to directly affect their supply chain of commodities. So, for example, like certain manufacturers in certain areas get 1 or 2 or 3 days of production, and then another set of manufacturing plants get another 1, 2, 3 days of production. And it's just because they have such a shortage of energy right now. And so because of the way they're doing this, it's going to make it really hard for China to keep up on the demand of the manufactured goods. And you add that on top of the supply chain disruption, with all of the ships sitting outside of the ports that can't be unloaded here in the United States, for example, because of what they're calling the truck driver shortage, although I think there's a lot more to it than that. The UK, the United Kingdom, has a shortage of gasoline. Many of their gas stations have had, and I'm talking thousands of their gas stations have had to shut down gas pumps, because they just don't have the gas to keep them filled. All of this could end up coming to the United States. We're already seeing some of the shortages on the shelves that, we never thought that we would see. And it's even worse than what it was during the panic buying of 2020. So I want to give you a few things that you can do, 8 things specifically that you can do to prepare in case the United States gets to that sort of energy crisis, as well as the food shortage. And one thing I want you to keep in mind, that in October of 2020, we were still producing enough energy, whether it was coal, natural gas, we were self-reliant. And then when the administrations changed and all of those great energy bills and policies were 86'd right out, we have become very, very vulnerable with our energy. So what can you do? So number one, and this is an absolute number one, you need to have an alternative heat source. Whether it's probably the best thing is some kind of a wood burning thing. If you have access and ability to get wood, have a wood stove or a wood cooking stove. Either that, or make sure that you have alternative power source, so like your generator, but I would recommend solar, because you don't have to pay for solar. If you have a gas generator, you might not be able to keep that generator going. Okay, so just something to think about. Number 2, take stock of the food supplies that you have, and fill in the gaps. Try to get a minimum of 6 months worth of food supplies in your home. We don't know how long this is going to happen. We don't know how short the shortages are going to get. So it's best to prepare for at least a minimum of 6 months of food that you're going to be able to live on should things really get super bad. Number 3, take stock of your paper supplies. So things like your toilet paper, your paper towels, and also your medications. I'm already hearing stories about over-the-counter medications being in short supply, more difficult to get. So fill in those gaps. If your family is prone to colds in the wintertime, make sure that you have plenty of cold medicines. Aspirins, Tylenols, fever reducers. And also don't forget your pets. So if your pets are on some kind of a medication, whether it's, heartworm medicine or hairball medicine, whatever it is, don't forget your pets when it comes to both food and medication. Number 4, I would recommend buying rice, wheat, flour, noodles, and pasta, as well as things like stocking up on vegetable oils, canned meats, coffee. Brazil right now is a month behind in picking their coffee beans. So coffee may either go extremely high in price, or it may be harder to come by, or both. So if you are a coffee drinker, you're going to want to make sure that you get that coffee stocked up and enough, at least, like I said, for 6 months. Number 5, learn how to can and preserve your food. Don't just start canning everything, oh my gosh, I got all of this stuff from wherever and I just want to can it. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to the protein, the vitamins, basically the nutritional value of the food. You want the higher nutritional value, right? And you don't want all that icky stuff. So, for example, canned vegetables, or canned chicken noodle soup, there's not a lot of nutritional value in that. And especially if you have kids or if you're older, you need specific nutritional nutrients to stay healthy. So you want to make sure that what you're canning or what you buy that is already canned or freeze-dried will have that nutritional value in it. One of the things that I really like to buy in stock is chili. Chili tends to have the higher nutritional value. It has your meat, it has your vegetables, it's got a lot of protein in it. But do your research, find out what works for you, but make sure that it has that nutritional value and learn how to can it. If you need help with that, put it in the comment section below, or you can email me privately at positiveprepper@gmail.com, and I will be happy to either help you with it or send you in the right direction to be able to do that. Number 6, don't forget your spices. So if you're living off of your own homemade canned soups, or you're living off your rice or your pasta, you're going to want those extra spices to kind of jack things up a little bit. So maybe someday you're just really tired of the blah and you want something that tastes a little bit more Mexican. Well, then stock up on chili powder, right? There are things that you can do. Don't forget your salt. That is an absolute necessity for life. And there are some foods that come pretty high in your sodium, so you want to pay attention to that. Other foods might be really super low in sodium, so you might want to make sure that you have salt, pepper, things like that to add to that flavor enhancement. But salt is also something that you need to survive. Number 7. And this is a really difficult one, but I'm going to talk about appliances. So if you have old appliances, your stove, your refrigerator, your washer and dryer, you may want to think about replacing those sooner rather than later, if you can afford to, or have work done on your existing appliances to make sure that they're in good working order. It's becoming increasingly difficult to get parts to fix these things, and it's going to be, I think, even more difficult to replace these things. So either, I can't afford to go out and just go buy the state-of-the-art, fridge and stove and washer and dryer and dishwasher and whatever. I can't afford to go out and do that. But what we can do, and what you can do, especially if you're on a really limited budget, is go out and buy older appliances that work, that you can relatively think that you can rely on probably for the next 6 months. And again, this is only if the existing appliances that you have are old. I can't imagine the middle of January and not having a refrigerator or a working stove or a washing machine or a dryer. Although part of prepping is being able to do without all of those things. But if we're not at that point and you just want to have a working appliance, then you might want to start thinking about either replacing, fixing, updating, doing that right now, where hopefully you can still get the parts or the replacements that you can get. And then number 8, you might want to consider buying things like wool socks and wool blankets. If there's a rolling blackout and you don't have that alternative heat source, you may want to think about having these extra things to keep you warmer, especially during the cold winter months. I do think that the only campaign promise that the dude in the White House is keeping is the fact that we are going to have a dark winter. And so I just want to give you these couple quick tips to help you be prepared just in case. Okay? But through all of this, I want to read just 2 super quick scriptures from the Bible. Psalm 62, verse 6. Truly he is my rock and my salvation, and he is my fortress, and I will never be shaken. And then also Psalms 46, 1 through 3. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. In other words, don't be afraid. This isn't about fear. It's about preparing. And it's about having faith in God, that God's going to see you through whatever it is that we're going to face. In one of my next couple videos, I'm going to be showcasing a company that has been around for about 70 years that I was not aware of. They have a great prepping product. That's all I'm going to say right now. A great prepping product that I think you guys might be interested in. So in one of my next videos, I'm going to showcase that. But I'm going to keep doing these short videos, hopefully for the next few days, and just really trying to give you some good help, some good tips. So please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. And if you want notifications when these new videos start coming out, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're aware. I hope you all have a blessed day. God bless.